Who you are is more important than what you do. The only way that you're going to have any kind of success in your life, you have to buy into a process of what it takes to reach a goal. How can I be the best I can be at what I do? How much of your time was spent and how much was it invested in your goal? You can't do it unless you can overcome adversity, because that's what makes great things great, is the things that you had to overcome to accomplish them. We have about 5 choices in our life, and everybody has a choice as to what they want to do and how they want to do that. But if you're going to be excellent or elite, you got to do special things. You have to have special intensity. You have to have special focus. It doesn't matter what God-given ability that you have, but without the rest of it, I'm not sure you ever get excellent or elite.
You have to have toughness. What does it take to break you? I don't care what circumstance you're faced with. What does it take to break your focus, to make you give in? You're tired or you don't feel like giving effort or finishing the play like you should. I'm not saying it's our goal to try to break you. It's just the way it is in football. It's going to be difficult because you're getting yourself ready to play at a high level. And just because you got beat on the last play, that can't affect the next play. That's breaking you. Your frustration is breaking you. What does it take to break you?
We should help others. We should serve other people all the time. You cannot be a leader and affect other people if you're not willing to serve other people. Think of our lives as every day we should appreciate the opportunity that we have to accomplish and affect something. Earn this. Everybody made all these sacrifices for you to live. Go live a good life. Be a good father. Help other people. Accomplish something of significance. Make a difference. That would be my message to everybody here. Make a difference and help everybody's spirit in a positive way. God bless you and roll tide.
Jay Barker led the Crimson Tide to a national championship in 1992, winner of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award and a finalist for the Heisman Trophy, voted the SEC Player of the Year, and was drafted by the Green Bay Packers, also seeing time with the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. He is the winningest quarterback in Alabama history, 35-2-1, member of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Jay Barker brings that same championship quality and football expertise to his own radio network and show. Joining him is Lars Anderson, New York Times bestselling author, 20-year veteran of Sports Illustrated, and professor at the University of Alabama. Live from the AVX studios in Birmingham, Alabama, The Jay Barker Show.
Being a receiver is a strong part of my game. I mean, it's something I catch a lot of balls in practice. I run a lot of routes in practice. There's a lot of, plays in our playbook that, that allows me to get out of the backfield and run routes and catch the ball. So, that's a strong part of my game. I, haven't really got going yet, but, it was good, to catch a few balls out the backfield this weekend, kind of show people like, my pass catching abilities for one. We had to adjust to their blitz stunts. They came at us with new blitz stunts that, we didn't prepare greatly for. And, we made the protection call that we thought that would work for us in those looks. And, we did what we had to do to try to pick them up. It didn't work out for us the first couple times, but we made a, nice adjustment in the second half, to try to, pick up the blitzes. We didn't know exactly when they were going to come or when they was going to draw them up. So we just had to, kind of stay prepared for them in the second half. I just feel like, I've been in a physical, in a physical fight, I don't feel like, no one in this league, will be feeling great, around these times, but, I can say that I feel, good. I feel good enough to, prepare myself to get ready for another week. I'm very confident in mainly short yardage situation that, we'll get the yards needed to convert. I feel like the offensive line is confident in, their ability, to get some push up front, and I'm confident that I can pick up, the hard yards, if it's 1-2 yards or, however many yards it is, I feel like we're confident enough that we can pick them up. All the little things matter, like all the things that he stressed about, during the week or, just talking to us about just making sure we stand on track. Like all the little things matter, and they matter the most in, big time situations. And, if we ain't bought into, the little things that it takes, to be a winner, then, it'll come back and it'll bite us, at a bad time. And, he's always on us about, just stand on the little things. And then when one thing goes wrong, then he makes sure that we know, why it didn't go the way that we wanted it to go. I feel like this team will respond in a great manner. Like, everyone, you see the look on everyone's face, and you see how guys feel about the outcome of last game, and you can just you feel the energy of people and just want to come back and get better and just see all the little things that we can do to fix the errors that we had and just try to clean up everything we screwed up in the game to try to come back better next week.
Welcome in, and Matt Coulter, our special guest as well in studio. Matt, you know what day it is. What day is it, Matt?
It's the day after the Braves. It's the day after the Braves.
The day after the Braves,
yeah,
no doubt. And,
fantastic game. Yes, hump day.
A buddy of mine was in Atlanta yesterday, and he was making his way home. And he said, "I'm gonna leave early." Traffic was horrible, so everybody's trying to get home for the game and watching, and everybody's having parties, all that type of stuff. So Atlanta baseball definitely playing it at a good level right now. But Gary Burley, I just saw walk in the studio. Look forward to getting him on at around 15 after. We're going to discuss his not only golf tournament coming up next week, and also we've got a new book out that he's got out, and we'll discuss that and his charity and all the great things that Gary does throughout our community. Don't forget, we're presented by Top Golf of Birmingham. Get out to Top Golf today. It's the bowling of our generation. We always say that. It's a lot of fun for family, friends, coworkers, a place to go with a great restaurant, great drinks, and just a lot of fun. And they do a lot of things for charitable events. They hold bachelor parties, birthday parties, anniversaries. They got a great terrace for a band and different activities, a banquet room as well for a lot of the high schools that use it for charitable events to go out there and raise money and do different things. And it's really been a great spot, a great tailgate spot as well for UAB fans, and when they're out there at Protective Stadium like they were this past weekend. Also driven by Sonny King Ford on the sunny side of the street. Get out to Oxford Anniston and see Tony Russell and all the great folks at Sonny King Ford. My man, Matt, how are you doing?
I'm
Everything
good. And you mentioned Protective. I could not go to their opener, which disappointed me because, I have a long association with the Blazers. But I had Talladega, and I've been doing that 30-something years. So anyway, Karen and I went to Protective Saturday afternoon. Wow. I was prepared to be impressed, but I was more than I was prepared to be impressed. Everything from the moment I walked into the gate, the way people treat you, to the concessions. By the way, this may not seem like a big deal, but it is if you're older. Their bathrooms are amazing.
Especially for the women. Well, I'm not saying you went to the women's restaurant.
No, I did not. But I mean, even at halftime, I can't see them being overcrowded. They're just they're very, very large. And what made the experience even more enjoyable is they played well. Yeah. And they beat a formidable opponent in the Owls. So that the Braves, not necessarily what happened Saturday night. By the way, at the risk of getting something thrown at me from the other side of the room, because Lars is such a big Bengals fan.
Right.
Go Packers. Is he going to hit me? Did you watch that game, Gary? So. Yeah. Braves, the Packers won it on last second field goal. So anyway, there's kind of my life up to date since last time we spoke.
Let's go back to the stadium. If you come in on that, is it, I guess, northeast?
It'll be northwest, I think. That's
when the northeast side, you can see the city back across, right?
Yes.
Back towards the sky boxes and the press box, all that. And I went over there, took a picture. But what's cool about the stadium is that, and I did this, there is a kind of a bar or a place where you can just walk up and put a drink there or eat your food all the way around 360
That's where I was. It's a lot like Regent Field.
It is.
Because you can walk the circumference of the stadium.
Yeah.
And it's just fabulous because you can socialize, but yet you can watch a football game. And exactly what Karen and I did. It's a lot of fun.
Well, in the club, did you get a chance to go in the club area that they have? That's right there on that.
To be honest with you, we came in, we're overwhelmed. We got a cold beer, and they had a great selection of beers. And we sat down, walked around for a little while, but it was just so comfortable. And I was in the end zone, the corner of the end zone. Mm-hmm. I didn't even really want or feel the need to move.
Yeah.
I'm sure probably a better view from the 50-yard line, but from where I was, the setting I was in,
there's not a bad view in that whole place. I mean,
and again, I know Jonathan Nelson appreciates the publicity, but it's a lot like Regent Field.
It is, yeah, definitely. And great food, by the way. I mean, great little restaurant or whatever. I mean, it's all first class. You feel like you're at just a totally different place than Birmingham when you're in there. Plus, the corridor, the concourse are so much wider, so there's not that congestion coming in and out of the stadium. I really thought parking was going to be an issue, and not to say that if it's ever where it's at full capacity, but they really did a good job of where they've put people, where they've allowed them to park. I know the Top Golf has even done some things where they're actually charging people a certain amount and handing them a gift card, saying, "Hey, bring this back. This is the value of what you paid," and great idea on their part to get people back to Top Golf.
Smart marketing.
Yeah.
That's the reason they sponsor this show too. Smart marketing.
That's right. All right, Gary Burley's going to be joining us coming up next. Real quick, we haven't got your breakdown on the game this past weekend. It's been, the hot topic for everybody. We've talked to a number of people today, even, a couple guys from Outkick, and really just kind of getting everybody's perspective on kind of what happened. Or Alabama really sitting, Matt, in a great position, number 5. They're no longer the hunted. They're the ones hunting. So now, to me, this is where Coach Saban coaches at his best.
Well, the only thing that really troubles me about that is that there were so many obvious errors. I mean, first of all, how long has it been since you've seen Alabama get outmanned at the line of scrimmage? Drop balls, poor execution, poor calls, I thought.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are wondering how Alabama gets back in it, but I think they're assuming Alabama's going to win out. Now, it's not the most difficult schedule in college football. However, if they don't improve, they've got teams down the schedule that can beat them, most notably Auburn. And then if they ever get to Atlanta, Georgia whipped the tails right now.
Tennessee's playing well. Scoring points.
Tennessee can ring it up. And right now, that Alabama defense, that vaunted Alabama defense that we talked about back in August, is not there. And that's hard to understand because I know they've had a couple of injuries, but still with that personnel, A&M shouldn't be hanging 41 on you. So I think, yes, the question is how Alabama gets back into the playoff championship and the run. And I think that happens because Iowa or Cincinnati, somebody's going to fall. But they've got to keep winning. And I think right now that is the more important issue. And I'll bet you, and I was talking to Lars about this a little while ago, man, how would you like to have been an assistant coach Sunday morning?
Well, especially when he gave the guys the day off. I mean, then it's about to be a long day.
I was unaware of that.
Players got the day off.
Yeah, so the players got the day off.
Yeah. They get to rest a little bit, and that means that there's going to be a lot of discussions.
What time do you think he called the staff in?
Pretty early.
4:30, like Bryant used to do?
I don't know if it was that early, but I'm sure it was pretty early. But here's the thing is that you're right. I mean, and I think if Bill O'Brien went back and looked at that goal line, I think Coach Saban's probably thinking, why did I not just say we got 4 downs, be Rob 4. If we don't get it and we don't prove our manhood down the goal line, then they're going 99 yards. They got to drive the ball from there. We're not going to just try to throw it 3 times. I mean, I just didn't understand that play call. And I've seen that many times. I don't know what happens to Alabama when that is our bread and butter. That's our personality. That's in our DNA. And then we get away from that at times. And Bill's called great games leading up to that and has not really had a lot of questionable calls. That's the only one I would say I'd kind of question is why not keep handing it to a guy that's getting you 5, 6, 7 yards a carry that's been running the ball well. I mean, at least we were doing well there. To me, for a quarterback, and I brought this up many times, the best protection you can have, yes, you want a great offensive line that does pass protection, but the next best thing is a run game. The run game is what then allows them, if they try to pressure and do a run blitz, stunts, or just blitz, and you run it against them, it's like hitting a guy on a hot route behind the linebackers. Once that back, and a Brian Robinson can do it, make one guy miss, maybe 2, he's gone. I mean, and when you break one of those, it gets them out of that blitz. And plus, I think Bryce he should be in turn protection or slide protection, back to his left to protect himself from those. He saw one hot guy. But the second thing a quarterback is to really protect. It's a great tight end that can block, that can run block, can protect you in the pass game, but also can catch. And when you have those 3 things going, and Alabama's tight ends lack the blocking and the catching a little bit this weekend. They got to get and running the routes as well.
All that said, have you been able to figure out why? I mean, why get down that far? And you've got a bruiser that can not only run outside, probably better between the tackles, and he doesn't see the football. It's very hard to understand. Let me just pointedly ask you a question. You're in the booth, you're Bill O'Brien, you're looking down. What goes through your head? And I hate to put it in there. Do you get ego? Do you want to have the flash?
No.
Do you want to throw the great spectacular? You want to make that great spectacular call, or do you just want to grind it out?
Yeah. I mean, I would want to grind it out down there with him. But, again, he's been doing a lot longer than I have, been a head coach in NFL, a lot of experience. He's got the tendencies, looking at what they do on the goal line. He's got a lot more information than we do. To me, I just still think you run the football there. In the pass protection, I do believe, and maybe the rules are not this, but normally the center of the quarterback is making the call looking at the front and saying, okay, we got to move the line in one direction or the other. And it didn't seem like whoever makes that call was not getting it slid, or they made the adjustment at halftime. Did a lot better. Defense made a great adjustment.
Absolutely.
10 yards in the third quarter is all they got. I mean, I think once we block the punt, if we don't allow them to return the kick, I think it's a different game. We gave them momentum back right away. And as I said yesterday, Matt, what's the kid? Was Small? Is that right? The
kid that made the kick. The one that had a picture of his family and everything.
I mean,
I threw up.
It hurts, but it hurts, but at the same time, it's kind of like that's true. Like parents watching, and that was the agony of that.
Was really
it was good.
A very emotional moment. And I'm happy that hey, A&M deserved to win the football game, and they did.
Yeah.
I just think of some of the losses that Alabama's incurred, which is not many. That one floored a whole lot of people. I didn't hear anybody think that A&M was even going to stay on Kyle Field with them.
No, and Antonio thinks that probably he yesterday he said, I think that Jimbo probably sacrificed 2 games getting ready for this one because he knew he wrote a check that he had to cash and he needed to win this game for his job, not for so much his job, but for the perception of his job and what he's getting paid and how, just getting their program on track. It's like they've been working on Alabama probably since spring, and they probably during the Arkansas Mississippi State games. Those weeks,
you think?
Oh yeah, we're running because I know this happens with other schools. They run the coaches throw plays in there, and you go, wait, they don't run this. Why are we looking at this? And it's just to get extra reps on something. So I think Jimbo was doing some of that.
So you never really tell the players. You just
Sometimes
execute it in the practice. So you think Jimbo may have sacrificed losses to Arkansas, Mississippi State?
I'm saying that's what Antonio said, and I thought it was a good point because that game's a huge game for Jimbo to win, and he got it done after predicting it. All right, Local Realty, they're going to help you win when it comes to selling your home. You're going to make more money and save more money when it comes to Local Realty. Go to localrealtyflatfee.com. It's localrealtyflatfee.com. For more information about Local Realty, 5-star rating on Zillow with hundreds of testimonials, almost 1,000 testimonials now. They've saved millions for people that are selling their home. Again, it's on the sell side. It's a flat fee, $2,900 up to a $500,000 listing. You're going to love it. It may be the biggest investment in your life, your home. It's your equity. It's your money you put into it. You should get the most out of it. Local Realty believes that as well. Jeremy and Gina Miller have put together a great team. They're a great family in themselves, but a great team to help you. They're not only in Birmingham and surrounding metro areas. They're going north and south Alabama. They're going to continue to expand this great company and, again, going to save you a ton of money. Go to localrealtyflatfee.com for more information. That's localrealtyflatfee.com for Local Realty. I will return live from AVX Matt Coulter in studio. We got Gary Burley coming up next. We'll talk about his new book. And also Antonio Lane is going to join us at the bottom of the hour with Roger Hoover from Tide as well. And look forward to visiting with him about the Crimson Tide, the loss this weekend, but getting ready for this Mississippi State matchup. All right, stay with us. We'll be back.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
The flagship station for Alabama Crimson Tide sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
You know what happens in a plasma chamber?
Big stuff. Science stuff.
Diamonds. I'm Tom Osmond. Fincher & Osmond Jewelers carries artisan-created diamonds.
Earth and human safe.
And bigger. Lots bigger.
Fincher & Osmond diamonds from the mines or artisan-created diamonds.
They're all diamonds.
If you want to give her the big stuff, you've got to see these diamonds.
FincherandOsmond.com. A little tricky to find on McFarland Boulevard between Edgar's and Local Roots.
JCPenney's fall mystery sale is here. How much will you save? Hurry in store to find out. You could get an extra 30, 40, or even an extra 50% off Thursday through Sunday with Peel and Reveal coupon while supplies last. And with your surprise savings, you can easily refresh your closet and home. New fall styles, great fall savings. JCPenney. Coupon valid through 10/17. Some exclusions apply. Coupon giveaway in-store only while supplies last. Must be 18 or older. See store or jcp.com for details.
Whether you just found it or lived there for years, you'll never forget that feeling. It was something that made you realize this house would become your home. And since there's no place like it, it deserves protection just as special. So talk to a real person, not a website. Call your Allstate agent, Andrew Kniffer, today at 205-722-9201 or find us on Facebook, Andrew Kniffer Agency. Once again, you can reach us at 205-722-9201. Allstate, are you in good hands?
It begins before we are even born. It is with us until the day we take our last breath. So when it comes to matters of the heart, it is best to leave it to those who know how to keep that beat going.
Cardiology Consultants has provided West Alabama the highest quality, state-of-the-art cardiovascular services. Dr. William Hill, Jeffrey Anderson and Lewis, Amit Shah, Edward Caraway, and Brad Proctor, all board certified.
Don't miss a play at the Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Your front row seat to all the action. Place bets on all professional and most college sports at the counter, kiosk, or on your phone. Then catch the game on one of our 20 big screens from the comfort of the newly remodeled Timeout Lounge. Plus, the PRR Sports app gives you access to live, in-play sports betting. Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Be more than a fan. Be a player. Must be 21.
Exam 4 needs to be sanitized. Mersana's MRI clinic isn't operating at max efficiency. She needs a new certified tech certifiably now. Someone's waiting in room 2 for an ACL scan. Can you handle that? Indeed can help her hire great people fast. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Meet Bob Minetti. In 2016, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Bob participated in a clinical trial that included cutting-edge radiation therapy and surgery. He's been in remission since completion. I'm Keisha Sharp. Since losing my mother to pancreatic cancer, I've been working to share the kind of state-of-the-art work being done by Stand Up to Cancer and Lustgarten Foundation. To learn more about the latest research, including clinical trials, visit pancreaticcancercollective.org.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A very warm afternoon, partly to mostly sunny, the high 87. Tonight fair with the low at 63. Tomorrow mostly sunny with a high at 88. Friday partly sunny during the day, then a chance of rain showers Friday night, the high at 85. I'm James Spain on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 86 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
I have a lot of confidence in Rodell. We sit in the same meeting room, and we prepare. We prepare very hard every week. We go out to the practice field, and we prepare hard. We make sure that we are very detailed in everything that we do. So just watching him and just helping him along the way, just helping me build more and more confidence in him. Just throughout the weeks of practice, just seeing how hard he competes, and in the meeting room, how much he's learning and how much he understands of the game plan and what we're trying to accomplish. So that just helped me build more confidence in Rodell.
Charlie.
Little Brian Robinson there talking about Roy Dell Williams and the guy that's got to step up and continue to play and get the reps in practice. And as we talk about all the time, next man up when you have injuries. And they've definitely had him at the running back position, and also Trey Sanders as well. So, but we got a special guest in studio with us now. You can kind of see him there from our bird's eye view, and really a great friend of the show, Gary Burley, joining us. Played for the Cincinnati Bengals and also has played with Tony Dorsett, when they were at Pittsburgh together. And he's got a new book out. We got a golf tournament coming up next week, and the golf tournament's on the 19th, right? Okay, I got one on the 19th, and I've got one coming up on the 20th. I think we got two. And they're both at Greystone, and one's at Founders and one's at Legacy. Yours is at Founders, right?
Yeah, we're at Founders. 12 o'clock.
Awesome. And tell everybody kind of what the golf tournament, what it benefits.
Well, I've been looking for a way to honor my former NFL and college coaches and teammates who are no longer with us. So my wife, being the president of Miles College, she asked me, would I support the football team, which I have. And I decided that I wanted to put together a scholarship for girls and boys that would honor those former players. and coaches. So what we did was each kid will get a scholarship. Our partner, Alabama Power, has gotten involved, and they've been our partner on this golf tournament for the last 7 years. So we decided that we're going to give kids a scholarship, an internship, and an introductory to Jim Curval's influencer program that helped them with the name and likenesses.
That's awesome.
So we'll do this every year. We'll honor a different NFL player or coach every year. And we're just excited about it.
All right, tell us about the book. I'm going to throw this up here for you. Josh, if you can, grab the cover. It's called Glory, the Struggle for Yards by Ralph Brooks and Gary Burley. Also contributing author Valencia Bell was a part of this. Again, it's Glory. And again, Gary Burley wrote this, the book, Glory, the Struggle for Yards, stories gathered together to illustrate the unique cultures, history, and values that unite people of all races together. It's so much more than a book of facts and individual personal accomplishments. Glory actually shares stories that include powerful messages that can inspire, teach, and influence others to achieve their goals in life. These stories bring facts to life and have the ability to connect the past with the present. They start with the diversity and inclusion by respecting, understanding, appreciating each other's humanities and beliefs, and most of all, reading to know how or for your own gratification and personal experiences. These stories promote a positive attitude through football legends, hardships, fears, and never losing desire for taking care of their families and leaving a legacy for the future generation to understand their challenges, difficulties, and misfortune and adversity. So I memorized all that.
I like that. I mean,
it was perfect the way it lined up right behind
it lined up right. I saw it when I was putting it up, and I'm like, hey, I got something to actually say on
wise
this.
beyond your years.
I was ready to go out and buy the book right then after hearing that, man.
I've got the book. I'm reading it at home.
Well, tell us the inspiration behind it and why you wanted to write it and how it came about.
Well, you know, I'm a cancer survivor, right? The day I was diagnosed with cancer, a friend of mine, Dave Smith, who used to be a tight end for the Pittsburgh Steelers, he calls me up and he says, I have this idea that I'd like to share with you. And the idea was to put together a traveling exhibit that would showcase the history of the first African Americans that were in the NFL. So I said, I love the idea. And then after that, I was in the hospital for 4 months. So we kind of lost touch, and the book the exhibit just went by the wayside. So then when I got well again, I decided that I want to pursue this. So I talked to the commissioner in the NFL. I talked to Mike Brown, who was my former team owner. And I said, you know, I think this is something that the NFL could get behind. So after that, a friend of mine called me and said, you know, I write books and, you know, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, I got an idea for a book. And that's where Glory was born. So now we have a way of not only helping kids, but also honoring the former players that played in this game.
That's great.
I have a question not really related to your golf tournament or the book, but just because I love to. Jay will tell you this.
Okay.
I get a little giddy. I used to love when Pat and I said, you get giddy. When I get around, because there's so many questions, but how does the guy from Columbus, Ohio end up in Pittsburgh? I know geographically they're kind of close, but you were recruited there and then you went back to the NFL to be able to play in your home state. Just go through that real quick, Gary.
Well, wow.
I threw you a massive curveball here.
I asked Ohio State to give me a second recruiting trip because I was dating this girl at the time and her parents were out of town. So I was living in Texas at the time. I went to junior college, first of all. So they refused for my second visit. So I said, nah. And I happened to
This is Woody, right?
Yeah, this is Woody.
Yeah.
So I happened to go on a recruiting trip to Oklahoma State. And I'm sitting there in the locker room and I hear these guys talking about me. And I'll tell you who it is in a second. But I hear them saying, well, if we can get that Burley kid, you know, we can build this 5-man line and just be unbelievable. So after the steam room, the smoke cleared, as they say, it was Jackie Sherrill. So he came over and introduced himself. He says, I'm Coach Sherrill at Iowa State or whatever. And he says, who are you? I said, I'm Gary. I'm not. He said, where did you go to school at? He didn't ask me who I was. He said, where'd you go to school at? And I said, I go to Wharton Junior College. He says, well, do you know that Burley kid? I said, yeah, I know him very well. He says,
awesome.
you think you can get us a meeting with him? I said, yeah. I'm pretty sure I can.
We look a lot alike.
I happen to know that guy.
So anyway, Coach Cheryl says, we introduced ourselves, and I said, Coach, I'm sorry. I was just playing with you. I'm Gary Burley, and I've already made a decision to go someplace. He says, well, we want you to come to Iowa State. And I go, I don't think so. And that was the end of the conversation. 3 weeks later, Coach Majors accepted the job at Pittsburgh. And immediately, Coach Jim Dyer, who was my defensive line coach, called me up and said, we want you to come to Pitt. So they followed me around and came on recruiting trips and all that stuff and finally convinced me to come to Pittsburgh. And that's how I ended up at Pittsburgh.
I'm glad I asked now.
I am
good,
too.
great story. You could have said, yeah, I know that guy. I woke up with him.
Are there any teams left to go? I mean, I know it's been packed out and you got a lot of celebrities coming in, but if somebody wanted to play next Wednesday, the 19th, are there any teams that are still available? Is that right? Is it Wednesday 19th or Tuesday?
Tuesday
19th.
Mm-hmm.
The other one's Wednesday.
Hey, if you got somebody, we'll squeeze them in.
Okay.
For you.
I would thank you. Again, here's the book. I'm going to put it up for you. And, again, we have to remember before writing books, ancestors told stories by cave painting, on the wall. that's the next paragraph.
That's great.
But I love it. But it talks about campfires and like boys and Girl Scouts and all that good stuff. But here it is, Glory and the Struggle for Yards by Ralph Brooks, Gary Burley, and again, contributing Valencia Bell. Great stuff. Get it for yourself. And from Gary Burley as well. Gary, always great to spend time with. I know we got Antonio Langham coming up here in a second. Also, Roger Hoover, who joins us each and every Wednesday from the Crimson Tide Radio Network. We look forward to spending time with him as well. So stay with us here from right here live at AVX. Before we do that, though, do you struggle with finding new ideas for branding and marketing your business? Is your organization, corporation trying to find unique items that people really like to receive and use? In today's competitive business environment, your brand needs to stand out to get noticed. Fully Promoted offers extensive branding and marketing solutions to get your name in front of your potential customers. They've got local experts that specialize in putting your logo on apparel, team gear, caps, promotional products, trade show items, and printed materials. They provide access to samples that you can actually touch and feel, and personalized service to assist you with product selection and decoration methods that take your brand to the next level. So call Fully Promoted today, 205-406-6430. Mention that you heard this ad on the Jay Barker Show for that special discount and special offer. That's 205-406-6430. Are you fully promoted? All right, we'll be back live from AVX. Antonio Langham back with us, as well as Roger Hoover will join us talking Crimson Tide. We'll be back.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
Hi, it's Jay Barker for AVX, Audio Video Excellence. They are the premier provider for custom audio-visual design and installation in the Southeast. AVX seeks excellence in everything it does, including a superior employee experience. AVX offers employees an industry-leading salary, insurance benefits, and 401k options. AVX technicians also receive the highest level of certification and continue training, making it one of the most awarded and decorated companies in the industry. Career opportunities are available now for technicians in Birmingham and Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Join the AVX team by contacting them at avxinc.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. If you're average and you're looking for a new pair of running or walking shoes, I suggest you go to an average shoe store, where they'll sell you a pair of average shoes built for the average person with average size feet. But here's the thing, you're not average. No one is. We all exercise differently. We run differently. We walk differently. And our feet come in all sorts of widths and lengths. That's why at the New Balance Birmingham store, we employ fit specialists who will conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot's size and shape, along with your gait, and then determine the best New Balance shoes custom fit to you. Because New Balance isn't your average shoe, And you're not average either. Experience the difference an unaverage custom fit makes today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham. Your feet will thank you.
Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Hi, it's Jay Barker for Siebel's in downtown Homewood, and now's the time to get your special place ready. Come in and let Siebel's design your porch with Kingsley Bait outdoor furniture and one of their custom swinging beds. For the great room, you're going to need their Carson swivel recliner. Siebel's is the #1 Carson recliner dealer in the country, and Sarah and I, we've got one, and we absolutely love it. Be sure also to check out their famous custom-made beds and bunk beds built by Siebel's and made up with some of their best linens in town. Their staff can truly put your bed together like no other store. You can also follow Siebel's and shop on Instagram and Facebook. And be sure to call or go by their special store in downtown Homewood. The number is 800-448-1962. That's 800-448-1962. And just for listening, go to SiebelsCottage.com and order anything you want and type in Jay Barker for a special discount code. That's Jay Barker for a special discount code available only to our listeners for a limited time on The Jay Barker Show. Siebel's in downtown Homewood or online at SiebelsCottage.com.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit GoFan.co now. That's GoFan.C.O.
All right, welcome back in as we continue live from AVX, and we got Roger Hoover coming up, Crimson Tide's Sports Network, and look forward to visiting with him about the Crimson Tide. I'll remind you, in Tuscaloosa today, the 11th, 12th, and 13th, today's the last day, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., go by Nancy & Company Jewelers, located in Northport. Any jewelry you haven't worn in years, this is your chance to sell it. So get that done. Go by Nancy & Company today. Any jewelry you haven't worn, go sell it. They'll be there. Again, today's the last day, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. today. Nancy & Company Jewelers, located in Northport, there in Tuscaloosa. I just go to Roger Hoover, and always great to have Roger on. And Roger, sorry we're running a little bit late this afternoon, but always a pleasure to have you on. And man, let's just start first of all with the game this past weekend, and a tough loss for the Crimson Tide. Alabama's still in it, sitting at number 5. But your thoughts?
Well, it's the first time I've ever been on the Jay Barker Show after a loss. I'm really not used to talking to you guys like this on a Wednesday. But,
you're right.
I mean, it's historic, but no, it was, a tough night from the get-go. And you could just kind of get that sense early on after Malachi Moore gets ejected, targeting the way Texas A&M was able to move the football, looked really solid on the offensive line when that was one of the big question marks going into the game. And they showed they were physical and kind of hit Alabama in the mouth first. And the Crimson Tide did have a good response, going up 38-31, but credit the Aggies. Great response after that, and getting the 3-point win against Alabama. Just everything clicked when it needed to for Texas A&M early, and then even after Alabama's surge. So you have to give them a ton of credit, because not many teams are able to respond the way they did after getting down 7 late in that ball game.
Roger, have you heard or do you know what some of the coaches' meetings were like on Sunday?
I haven't heard anything about that. I think Coach Saban on Monday, when he met with the media, talked about how, I think they're evaluating every decision that was made, both offensively, defensively, and especially on special teams as well, giving up that kickoff return for a touchdown. But I think that speaks to probably some of the decision making that was made in the red zone and goal line situations going into the shotgun and not running like we saw the previous week in the I formation like they did so well against Ole Miss with Brian Robinson, part of his 4-touchdown day. Instead, it was some passing looks, and maybe that's being more evaluated behind closed doors. But I think it's a moment for everybody to kind of realize what this team can do, can't do. You kind of figure out limitations as the season goes along. So I think Saturday was a huge part in that learning process for Coach Saban, Coach O'Brien on the offense, and then the defensive staff led by Pete Golden.
We get Roger Hoover, who joins us each and every Wednesday from CTSN. And, look both at the quarterbacks in that game. Bryce had a great game, 28 of 48, 369. 3 touchdowns. He did have the 1 interception, which kind of off of a lazy route, in my opinion. 21 of 31, Calzada, the freshman, and 285 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and also the 1 interception. I think he's trying to throw it away down and out, and the DB just made a good play. He did the actual back shoulder route for him instead of his own receiver. But those 2 guys playing, we didn't seem to pressure Calzada, which the way I thought we would, as him being a freshman. That would be, try to disrupt him, let him make bad decisions, let him make some mistakes. And instead, it was Bryce who was under a lot of pressure throughout the night. What was your take on that, and why do you think that was the case?
I think the offensive line just didn't play together and in sync for Alabama. It was surprising, all the different times Bryce had to scramble out of the pocket. I think we kind of saw it during some games earlier this season, but he was always able to make that great play out of it. But on Saturday night, it was just tougher, and I think that's because Texas A&M has better athletes than anybody Alabama's gone up against, and we kind of knew that going in, but they performed extremely well. And again, at the line of scrimmage is where so much of this game was won for Texas A&M. Then on the flip side, Zach Calzada just had a tremendous performance, and the guy that had been, kind of derided by his own fan base for the performances against Arkansas and Mississippi State, now he's a folk hero for Texas A&M forever. I joked earlier with somebody, now he joins that special fraternity along with guys like Tim Tebow and Cam Newton and Steven Garcia, all these quarterbacks who have beaten Alabama in the Saban era. It takes a huge effort, and for him to get hurt on the tying touchdown comeback and still lead that drive to help A&M get the game-winning field goal, it says a lot. I think he played with a lot of poise, a lot of character, and just had one of those special nights that we see happen in college football from time to time.
Any explanation for the breakdowns on defense that, Roger, this defense was vaunted as one of the best in all of the nation back in preseason. What the heck's happened back there?
It's tough to tell them that because the previous week against Ole Miss, they were as organized and as ready to go for Lane Kiffin's offense as really any performance we've seen all season long. And then going into next week against some personnel that you wouldn't see make the field at Ole Miss, some of these Texas A&M players just had great performances. We knew they had talent running back with Spiller, and the tight end Weidermeyer is probably as difficult as a player to cover in terms of a pass attack as anybody in the SEC. So Alabama had a tough job covering some players like that. Zach Calzada, kind of like an Alabama quarterback, that game manager label sometimes gets thrown around, but he got the ball to his playmakers in space, and they did some crazy good things because of it. But it really was surprising to see Alabama's defense not look on the same page at times. And I think a lot of it goes to the linebacking room. If there's been any inconsistency at this point, guys like Henry To'oTo'o, Christian Harris have had kind of up and down performances. And I also think that not having Drew Sanders available for this game was also big, because we saw the youth and inexperience a little bit of Dallas Turner, Chris Braswell, who are going to be really good players for the Crimson Tide. But having to step in for Drew, who had been playing so well, stepping in for Christopher Allen, it shows you that, even a talented team as Alabama has, when you get to the third or fourth string, it's a different story, regardless of all the recruiting analysis of these guys as highly rated players and things like that. So I think it's just a sign that Alabama's got a lot of work to do on that side of the ball. And as Coach Saban has said all season or all week long after the loss, sometimes you don't fully realize it until you've lost something. Now there's something to be gained by going back to work. And from what we hear, it's sounding like this group is getting more organized as the week goes along. And, a player like Will Anderson Jr. is stepping up so much more as a leader, trying to make sure that everybody is on the same page for this Saturday against Mississippi State. And I say this Saturday, but it really starts at practice because you get the feeling as well. Some of the players, veteran players last week, knew that game week was not trending in the right direction because of what happened on the practice field. So days like today and tomorrow are just as critical as what we're going to see on Saturday.
Roger brought this up on Monday, 2 days ago, talking about just the game itself and a psychological, I think, hit for Alabama early on was Malachi Moore going out, and also that he is a lot of the play caller on the defense side of the ball. He gets everybody lined up, especially in the back end. I wonder how much that went into not only how they played at times in the secondary, but also just the calls they made and what they could run. I mean, he's the one that repped the certain maybe special blitz or stunts that they'd worked on all week, and now not getting in there and trying to do it with a guy that hasn't repped it a bunch. I mean, it takes those reps to get it to where it works and where you feel comfortable as a coach also calling those type of plays. So I wonder just how much losing Malachi cost that defense on Saturday.
I think it was huge, especially since it happened in the first drive of the game for Texas A&M. If something like that happens near the end of the first half, then you get to go in the locker room, kind of regroup at halftime. I think you can mask it a lot better. And it seems like Alabama's defense did get a little more organized in the second half, getting those key stops on A&M in the third quarter, allowing the Crimson Tide to get back in the game. But for it to happen on the very first series, it was very, very jarring for the team. And I think Brian Branch did the best he could filling in that spot and still, kind of being counted on in his role for a lot of other things in the game. I thought he played about as well as you could possibly imagine in a tight spot like that. But again, it shows that, this is a football team that still has to have leaders emerge. And that's got to happen in game sometimes when one of your key players goes out. Think of the offensive side of the ball. If there's an injury to a player like Bryce Young or Brian Robinson Jr. or John Mechie, Jameson Williams, I mean, leaders have to start emerging in games for the Crimson Tide when things aren't going well. And that's nice to talk about all throughout fall camp and through some early wins. But you never really know what you have in terms of that until you're tested in the environment like we saw Saturday in College Station. And I think it'll be better for this team moving forward, having gone through this experience.
Speaking of moving forward, pardon me, what do you expect at Mississippi State? It's kind of hard to predict after what we saw Saturday, and then Mississippi State can be all over the road at times.
Yeah, they really can. And speaking of quarterbacks that are playing well, looking at what Will Rogers has been able to do is really impressive. And he did a great job against Texas A&M, and their offensive line did a really good job as well 2 weeks ago in College Station when Mississippi State got the win over the Aggies. So this is a team that should be playing with some confidence. It's a group that's healthy, coming off of a bye week and just getting more and more time to focus on Alabama. Now, Ole Miss did the same thing. We saw what the end result was. Alabama gets up 35-0 and takes the Rebels out of the ball game. Could it be a similar result on Saturday? It certainly could be. It also could be a tighter test for the Crimson Tide, and this is going to be a game where Alabama's pass defense is going to get tested like no other game. I think they did a remarkable job with it last year against Mississippi State, but that was a much different State team. I think Mike Leach has his guys more on the same page this year. They've had a full offseason to work with his playbook, so they're getting pretty comfortable in the air raid. So it's going to take, once again, Alabama's best efforts to try and get a win coming up on Saturday, and it's a great opportunity to bounce back. I'm really glad that Alabama has to go to Starkville. They don't have a non-conference team coming into Tuscaloosa or a team they feel like they could walk over. I think it's good they have this challenge ahead of them to try and keep getting over that loss from Texas A&M and get focused for the rest of the year.
Yeah, the running game for them has not been very consistent at all for Mississippi State, and where Alabama can use that against their defense. But they're good at those short, intermediate passes, mid-range passes, taking some deep shots. And I think Alabama saw a stat, and this may be off a little bit, but I think that for them, I think they've given up 10 touchdowns and 13 trips inside the 20 this year. So that's not been good as far as allowing on defense, kind of what they've done and allowed there. So they got to get the red zone defense, get off on third downs as well, and fourth downs as they've done in other games. But I think this offense is much. We talked about Ole Miss when you talk about Henry To'oTo'o. The offense I think fits him because now he's a guy that can run, can cover, can do those type of things more than sometimes the teams that want to come right at you than what we saw with Texas A&M and some other teams.
Got a really, really good question I want to pose to you on the other side of this break.
All right, we'll do it. And Roger, thank you for joining us as always. Roger Hoover from CTSN, Crimson Tide Sports Network. And always a pleasure, Roger.
Thanks, Roger.
Yeah, thank you guys. Look forward to talking to you next week, hopefully after a win. Let's not do this again for a while. How about another 20 games? Is that all right?
I agree with you.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Good. All right, Rock and Roll Sushi, the biggest hit in the restaurant business. Get out. We went out yesterday after the show, all the guys, and had a blast. And saw Lauren there at Rock and Roll Sushi. And just want to remind you, as I did yesterday, that they're looking for, they need it, servers, cooks, dishwashers, all the above. They're paying great pay. And check it out. Business is booming for them. They got locations in Tuscaloosa where they need help, Jasper, Trustful, Hoover, and the new downtown location on 5th Avenue South and Richard Arrington, old Tiki Bob's. Remember Tiki Bob's?
Yes.
Building there. And so right now they're giving, she was telling me the numbers. I'm not going to state them here on air, but as good as anything. I know nobody else in the restaurant business has ever made the kind of money that is being made now because it's a need, supply and demand. Again, cooks, dishwashers, all the above, really. Servers, they needed at all their locations that I just listed. Tuscaloosa, Jasper, Trustful, Hoover, new downtown location. Check out Rock and Roll Sushi, the biggest hit in the restaurant business. We'll be back, and we'll finish up hour number 1. Stay with us.
Flagship station for Alabama Crimson Tide football.
Alabama touchdown.
Only on Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
In October and all year long, at DCH, we're champions for women's health. Early detection of breast cancer includes annual clinical breast screenings and a mammogram every 1 to 3 years for women 25 to 39, and annually for women age 40 and up. And in the fight against breast cancer, one of our most powerful tools is our advanced 3D mammogram, which provides clear images that aid in early detection. Schedule a breast exam and ask your physician to schedule a mammogram at DCH Imaging. DCH, champions for your health.
Exam 4 needs to be sanitized. Mersana's MRI clinic isn't operating at max efficiency. She needs a new certified tech certifiably now. Someone's waiting in room 2 for an ACL scan. Can you handle that? Indeed can help her hire great people fast. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Beach Boys, live in concert. Over 5 decades of timeless hits. This Thursday night at Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. The Beach Boys 2021 Phil Flows World Tour. Buy reserved seats now at Ticketmaster.com. VIP packages available at thebeachboys.com and MikeLove.com. Part of the Coca-Cola Concert Series.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. NMLS ID 128231. Equal housing lender. Not licensed in all states, including New York. Offer based on loans over $250,000. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions.
What's better than a mortgage interest rate and APR in the 2s? How about a no closing cost mortgage loan with an interest rate and APR in the 2s? That's right. We have no closing cost loans here at Cash Call Mortgage. We pay the title, escrow, and appraisal fees. So if you're looking to save a little cash on your monthly mortgage payment, call Cash Call Mortgage today. Our quotes are always free. If your mortgage rate APR is not in the 2s, Cash Call Mortgage could lower your interest rate and save you some cash. What are you waiting for? With low rates and no closing cost options, now is the time to refinance your mortgage. For a free quote to see if you qualify, go to cashcallmortgage.com or call us today. Call 800-745-1952. That's 800-745-1952. 800-745-1952.
So, what are you sipping? Whether it's our freshly ground coffee to wake you up or an icy Polar Pop cup or Froster to keep you going, our new Sip and Save drink subscription at Circle K will keep you refreshed every day. Join Circle K's Sip and Save and grab any size drink every day for just $5.99 a month. Yeah, start sipping and saving today. Just sign up with your mobile number when you check out at Circle K. Limited time offer at participating locations.
Hey, Bama fans, before you head to the stadium to watch the Tide roll, stop by JD's Market and Spirits for all your tailgating needs for Bama football games. Located only 3 blocks from the stadium, JD's offers over 500 liquor items, 400 wine items, and a huge selection of craft, domestic, and imported beers. JD's also has hot dogs, snacks, ice, and game day supplies. Everything you need for tailgating. JD's Market and Spirits, 400 yards from Bryant-Denny Stadium on the west side. Call 722-2113.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A very warm afternoon, partly to mostly sunny, the high 87. Tonight fair with the low at 63. Tomorrow mostly sunny with a high at 88. Friday partly sunny during the day, then a chance of rain showers Friday night, the high at 85. I'm James Spain on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 86 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
All right, welcome back in, and Antonio Langham now joining us in studio. And before we went to break, though, Matt, you had a question for me? You remember that?
Actually, for both of y'all, when you see Alabama now, as opposed to teams in the past, where are the leaders, and who are they, and are they showing up? To be honest with you,
Yeah, and this will be a very short break. Early on, it was Will Anderson. It was Jordan Battle, those guys. And Will, has had his struggles as far as injuries, but he's still out there, still working hard at practice. Offensively, I think it was Bryce, definitely. And, B-Rob, definitely, just based on the amount of time he's been there. So we'll get into that and other things coming up on the other side as well. So stay with us. Antonio Langham, Matt Coulter, I'm Jay Barker. You're listening to The Jay Barker Show live from AVX. Audio Video Excellence continues.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Achieving your personal best often comes down to how you feel. And when it comes to the right shoes, nothing feels better than New Balance. The fit specialists at the New Balance Birmingham store conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot size, shape, and gait, determining the best New Balance shoes for you. Experience the difference of custom fit today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
I'm excited to tell you about our newest sponsor here on the Jay Barker Radio Network. They pioneered the chicken finger box and the chicken finger restaurant. That's Guthrie's. Guthrie's recipes and process are often imitated, but never duplicated. Look, their sauce is probably the most copied sauce of all sauces all time. And I've known this family since my days down in Tuscaloosa, and they came over, and man, I tell you, it's nostalgic even today to see my kids going to that same Guthrie's. And great family, do so much for the community, but more importantly, provide the best when it comes to chicken fingers. Get out to Guthrie's today. I want to tell you about my good friends at Southern Assurance Group. Hi, it's Jay Barker, and look, Ken Needham has done a terrific job. Local company, 205-980-1505 is their number. That's 980-1505. Again, local, you can speak with the same team every time you give them a call. Full line of products from auto, home, boat, life. You'll trust them. They have a great deal as far as the relationships they build with their customers, and 20 years with the same company and industry. Custom approach for your insurance needs. Give them a call, 980-1505. That is Southern Assurance Group.
Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269.
Whether it's for lunch or dinner, head out to the Cajun Steamer. It's a New Orleans style joint that serves authentic Cajun and Creole food, cold beer, and great drinks. They are known for their wide array of Cajun classics and original creations prepared in an authentic fashion. This Louisiana kitchen can have you slapping the table for more. Stop by the Cajun Steamer and sign up for your Alabama, LSU, or Auburn fan card. Eat with the Cajun Steamer while your team is on TV and use your fan card to receive a 15% discount on your entire meal. With locations in Hoover, Trustful, Huntsville, and Franklin, Tennessee, they've got you covered. Head out today to the Cajun Steamer.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better better way. There he is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit GoFan.co now. That's GoFan.O.
Birmingham's best Mexican restaurant for over 20 years and counting. That's La Paz Restaurant in Crestline Village and Mount Laurel. They've got a great staff, its delicious menu, award-winning cheese dip, and margaritas and vibrant atmosphere have helped to make La Paz a local favorite. Blue corn nachos, Texas barbecue quesadillas, steak and blue quesadillas, Baja fish tacos, signature fajitas, and much, much more. So head over to La Paz today. If you want a great lunch or a great dinner, you'll find all that at La Paz, Crestline, and Mount Laurel for lunch or dinner.
WTUG HD2 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Who you are is more important than what you do. The only way that you're going to have any kind of success in your life, you have to buy into a process of what it takes to reach a goal. How can I be the best I can be at what I do? How much of your time was spent and how much was it invested in your goal? You can't do it unless you can overcome adversity, because that's what makes great things great, is the things that you had to overcome to accomplish them.
We have about 5 choices in our life, and everybody has a choice as to what they want to do and how they want to do that. And if you're going to be excellent or elite, you got to do special things. You have to have special intensity. You have to have special focus. It doesn't matter what God-given ability that you have, but without the rest of it, I'm not sure you ever get excellent or elite.
You have to have toughness. What does it take to break you? I don't care what circumstance you're faced with. What does it take to break your focus, to make you give in? You're tired or you don't feel like giving effort or finishing the play like you should. I'm not saying it's our goal to try to break you. It's just the way it is in football. It's going to be difficult if you're getting yourself ready to play at a high level. And just because you got beat on the last play, that can't affect the next play. That's breaking you. Your frustration is breaking you. What does it take to break you?
We should help others. We should serve other people all the time. You cannot be a leader and affect other people if you're not willing to serve other people. Think of our lives as every day we should appreciate the opportunity that we have to accomplish and affect something. Learn this. Everybody made all these sacrifices for you to live. Go live a good life. Be a good father. Help other people. Accomplish something of significance. Make a difference. That would be my message to everybody here. Make a difference and help everybody spirit in a positive way. God bless you and roll Tide.
Jay Barker led the Crimson Tide to a national championship in 1992, winner of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award and a finalist for the Heisman Trophy, voted the SEC Player of the Year, and was drafted by the Green Bay Packers, also seeing time with the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. He is the winningest quarterback in Alabama history, 35-2-1, member of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Jay Barker brings that same championship quality and football expertise to his own radio network and show. Joining him is Lars Anderson, New York Times best-selling author, 20-year veteran of Sports Illustrated, and professor at the University of Alabama. Live from the AVX studios in Birmingham, Alabama, The Jay Barker Show.
I think they did a good job up front. And I think just going forward, I think as a D-line and as a linebackers, I think we just need to watch film together more, and we need to just realize our pass rush lanes and how we can get to the quarterback more and be more effective so he doesn't have all day in the pocket. I don't think it was taken seriously. I mean, as you can see, after the Florida, which was a close game, we end up losing this game. So I think together as a team, we really just have to focus. I think that's the biggest thing. I just feel like as if it's really nothing other teams are doing. I just think it's just us. We're in our own way right now.
He's 100% right. It's about rushing together, and as a unit, you have to rush collectively to be successful to rush the passer. If one person is doing his job and that person next to him not doing his job, then you won't get the outcome that you want to get. So I feel like that's very important, and we do need to do that. It was a couple of different guys who said something. Phil maybe said a couple of things. Will maybe said a couple of things. I talked to some of our guys, but it was just, I feel like it was an eye-opener for a lot of guys who haven't been in that situation before. We haven't played from behind really in a while, so I feel like it just everyone's eyes and it made people realize, that, how you prepare is everything. The leadership is good. I feel like we have a great group of guys on the leadership. I just feel like more people should, just follow in their footsteps and just listen to what they're saying, because a lot of guys have already been in their shoes before. So I just feel like now it's just match leaders and, follow them.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 2 here live from AVX, the Jay Barker Show. Lars Anderson, Matt Coulter, Antonio Langham in studio as well. Gary Burley earlier with us, and his new book out, Glory, The Struggle for Yards. I don't know if you want to go close up on that, but we showed it to you earlier. Again, Glory, The Struggle for Yards, and great book by Ralph Brooks and Gary Burley, tribute author of Valencia Bell. So get the book. You'll love it. Great stuff. You're bringing one of the points up about NFL guys getting ready for that, right? I mean, or was it guys ready for NFL? Or
really getting ready for college. And there's one page in there that I found amazing, and it's just little tips on taking the ACT. For instance, you can take the ACT 12 times. Did y'all know that? Do you know that? Antonio, I know you need.
We took it once. Antonio, I took it once. We got
12
we got enough.
Yeah, that was it. When we got enough,
by the 11th, you should know it, shouldn't you?
Yeah, you should. Memorized. No doubt about it. That's correct.
They take it that many times. They just average everything up. Now you're good. You pass one section. Don't worry about that section. Just take the other ones. You missed.
Lars made a 36 on his ACT.
No, he didn't. I know it. He's not a good tester. We talk about that all the time.
He can give them.
He can, definitely. So real quick, we're presented by Top Golf Birmingham. Go see Mark Grenier and all the great folks there at Top Golf. You'll absolutely love it. It's the bowling of this generation, and they have so many great events going on all the time, and you'll love it. Just get out and check it out yourself. Also driven by Sunny King Ford on the sunny side of the street, Oxford, Anniston. Go see Tony Russell and all the great folks there at Sunny King Ford. All right, let's go out to Lincoln, Nebraska, and that is where Lars Anderson is on special assignment. And we welcome him in now.
He on
Lars,
special
what's
assignment.
happening?
Tell the truth.
All right.
Tell the truth.
I'm on
What's
special
happening?
assignment visiting a special
You're in the
friend.
kitchen.
And
Hey, can you fry me a couple over easy there?
But you know what? So,
Hey, Lars, before you get going, let me just tell you this. When you on a football team, you have to be at practice and at the games. And if you missing all this because of your pleasure, your pay is deducted. Your pay because of you on your own time, you on your own guilty pleasures, you get paid, it gets deducted.
Hey, there's no guilty pleasure
want-
here. It's all work. It's all work all the time. But have you guys ever had a Reuben? Have you guys ever had a Reuben sandwich?
I didn't know he was about to ask me.
Yeah, I like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so it was created here in Nebraska, and just went to the place where it's actually created at the Blackstone Hotel. Yeah. And I'm doing research for the show. I mean, so it's corned beef.
But
with
you
cheese,
Food Network? We're not a Food Network.
sauerkraut.
We already had Chris Tastings in here the other day.
Really?
So.
No, I'm serious. Have you guys had a Reuben sandwich?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you guys like
What's
the
that
Reuben?
other sandwich you bring back?
Yeah, I like the.
That's the Runza. And I'll
You need to bring some of
Runza to
those.
the studio again. Yeah.
Wait, what's the name again?
The Rumses.
The Runza. We've had Runzas, and Antonio's had a Runza.
And I had the
but-
Runzas
but
after
yeah,
as well.
no,
hey, let me ask you real quick though.
I did.
What was the what was the one time? I'm sorry, Laura, I keep cutting you off, but we're a little bit.
No, he
behind
did
each
it the
other.
other day with Trent.
I
You
know he
all
did.
right? You
I'm
fine?
good.
You can cut him off when you get ready.
Was it catfish you'd never had? What was it you'd never in our first 2 or 3 shows?
Fried catfish.
Fried catfish.
And I'm never having it again. Yeah. No, I'm not a
You
fried
liked it?
catfish guy.
Oh my!
It was okay.
We
It
not
was
Runza
okay.
guys.
Well, I'm gonna cook the Runzas the right way. The person who cooked them
Well, we
before,
don't want-
they
we done
just
tried it
didn't follow
twice. That's over with now.
the directions. But
Well, we've tried
hey
it
guys,
twice. We
just
can get it
getting back. I did have class remotely yesterday, and in speaking to some of my students who went to the game on Saturday night, I think they saw kind of what we all did, and there was just too many small mistakes by Alabama in every phase of the game. even just after scoring a touchdown, Will Reichert, who we've seen kick the ball out of the end zone so many times, both at Hoover and at Alabama, kicking the ball out of bounds. And I know you didn't want to kick it to that kid who returned it, 100 yards for a touchdown or whatever. But do you think that's what it was, Jay? Or I'll go to you, Antonio, since I haven't had a chance to talk to you about this. Was it just all these little things that added up that equated to the loss for Alabama?
No, what happened is I'm gonna say this, and this be the last time I talk about the game. We got outplayed. We flat out got outplayed. They made plays when we didn't, and we got outplayed. A lot of times people say, "Well, we got out coached." I'm still trying to figure out, how do we get out coached? All we're doing as coaches, from Jay and I coaching little league to high school to whatever, all we do is call plays. We do not run one play.
But if you run 3 pass plays when you should be running it, I think that's the time you
I don't
are
make
out
no difference what I call, you execute it.
So you throw a fade
the
against
coach is
Penn
coming out of it.
State, and I don't.
Jay, if you call 3 passes, like he just saying, if you call whatever play you call, what you want them to do?
Yeah, you got to execute it.
Thank you.
But
you got a better chance of executing some than you do others.
Well, I just think if you're on the goal line and you got B-Rob, you run the ball. And but if the coach calls the play, you execute the play. Players make the plays. Coaches call the calls. If you get the players, the ones that ultimately make a play good or great or bad. It's the mistakes you make. It's not running the routes correct. I mean, really, the call would not have been bad if the route would not have been run so lazily, and where there was no move or stop to make the defensive guy do something, and then continue with the route to where now the ball was perfectly placed. The defensive guy just ran the route with him, and the only time you run a route with a guy is when he doesn't run a route correctly. Now, is that not true? I mean,
right?
Yeah. So I mean, that's execution on that side. But I'm with you, Matt, on the run. I mean, I would have run the ball down there based on who I had on personnel as well.
And I really appreciate what Antonio is saying, and that's putting it back on him. You're putting it on you, right? You've got to execute. But aren't there certain plays that you can execute with more efficiency and less chance than 3 passes, as opposed to just turning around and handing it to B-Rob?
Well, we tried that and we fumbled.
Okay, then what happens? Let's just look at it this way. What happens when we turn around and hand the ball to B-Rob 3 times and he gets stopped 3 times?
Well, then everybody say he should have passed.
See, that's my point exactly. So either way it go, y'all going to say, well, B-Rob had 3 shots that he should have got in the end zone.
I
correct?
Think it should have been 4 shots, to be honest. And then they go from the 99 yards to go score. They don't get the momentum of the interception. But here's the thing. I don't know, and I can't. I'm pretty sure this had not happened at this time, or had happened before this. We're at a 3rd and 1 or 4th. What was it? 4th and 1, and was 3rd and 1. We fumbled the ball. They line B-Rob up at the fullback position. The ball hits him in the chest. It's not a good handoff by the quarterback, and the ball fumbles. They get it back. That was a huge momentum shift in the game at that point in time. Execution, no doubt.
Jay, real quick.
I like the fact you put it on the
yeah,
players.
Go ahead.
I really do.
Does Coach Saban ever overrule the offensive coordinator?
I don't know. To be honest, I really don't. I'm sure he does. I mean, head coaches can overrule anybody as far as calls. I don't know if at that point in time, or if he feels like they've got, they've worked on things throughout the week, or there's a set plan as to how they're going to attack that particular defense, and they felt like maybe throwing the ball was better at that point in time or that moment in time. You just got to trust them. And Antonio is right. I mean, the players, you got to execute. I mean, if they execute the play right, the interception doesn't happen. But I still think Alabama fans are so used to seeing us run the ball, dominate the line of scrimmage. That's in our DNA. And when you get there and you don't do that and you come up with an interception, it just pours a little salt in the wounds of not even getting a chance to score, and what that would have been, the momentum that would have brought. All right, the Reuben Sandwich. The origin story holds that Reuben K. Did you really? Yeah. What is how they pronounce his name? Reuben K. It's shortened to K. They said it's actually like Kulala.
It's Kulala.
Yeah. His first name sometimes spelled Reuben. His last name sometimes shortened to K. A Jewish Lithuanian-born grocer residing in Omaha, Nebraska, asked for a sandwich made of corned beef and sauerkraut at his weekly poker game held in the Blackstone Hotel from around 1920, and that's where it started. I had to look it up.
That's where I was on special assignment with my special friend checking out the origin story of the Reuben. I mean, come on.
Okay.
This is important stuff.
Friend, everybody know by now. everybody you think that doesn't know, they know by now what a special friend is. So just stop, man. Stop saying it now. Everybody's hip to it, so just stop saying it. Just be honest.
Lanningham.
This article is this article
right,
is
Matt.
Traditional Reuben Sandwich, an affair from the heart.
Oh, wow! It's all working out for him, isn't it?
It's a what? An affair from the.
All right.
Nah, man. I'm also trying to figure out what's wrong with Nebraska football. So I'm trying to get to that for a longer story.
Are you going to be back in a couple of months?
It's called execution.
Yeah,
that's what it's called. Execution.
Hey, small, medium-sized business owners out there, execution is key when it comes to knowing and being aware of what you got when it comes to government stimulus packages and dollars available to your business outside of the PPP loan. If you had employees and retained them during the COVID-19 pandemic, there's up to $33,000 cash refund per employee. It's $33,000 cash refund per employee that's available to you no matter if you had a financial gain or loss. And for over 23 years, the tax attorneys, CPAs at e-tax breaks have been identifying tax credits, cash refunds available to businesses through more than 3,000 federal and state programs. These are not loans, not to be paid back, and they've recovered over $2 billion to date for their clients and can serve you nationwide as well. The best part is there is no fee to find out if you qualify. They only work off what's called success fees. So there's no financial risk to you ever. You pay nothing unless they find the credits or refunds for your business. About 90% of small businesses out there are eligible. So take a few moments and minutes and reach out to these guys. See if your business qualifies. Go to etaxbreaks.com. That's etaxbreaks.com, or simply call them at 855-659-1231. That's 855-659-1231 for etaxbreaks.com. All right, join us on the other side. We'll be back. More to come with Lars from Lincoln, Nebraska, Antonio Langham, Matt Coulter. I'm Jay Barker. We're in the studio here live from AVX. Stay with us.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
The flagship station for Alabama Crimson Tide football.
Alabama touchdown.
Only on Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Can I get a weight reading on the cat in exam 3?
Zuri needs a new vet tech after their current one literally moved to a farm. But finding an ideal replacement takes some training.
This is like herding cats.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Schedule virtual interviews and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It takes two vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
The $10 Tastemaker from Pizza Hut. Personalize yours with your favorite sauce, crust, and up to 3 toppings and make the pizza you've always dreamed of. It's so beautiful. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Ask for offer. Not available in some locations. Exclusions apply. Extra charge per pan. Not available on stuffed crust.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-324-4522. 800-324-4522. Don't wait. Call now. 800-324-4522. 800-324-4522.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1225. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1225. That's 800-777-1225 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225.
In a collision, easy decision. One name, one firm, one call. Ms. Reno.
I made that one call to Mesrano after being hit by an 18-wheeler. He got me $875,000.
I made that one call to Mesrano after being T-boned on McFarland. He got me $125,000.
I made that one call to Mesrano after my fender bender. He got me $50,000.
One name, one call, one firm. Ms. Reno.
No representation when the quality of legal services can be performed is greater than quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A very warm afternoon, partly to mostly sunny, the high 87. Tonight fair with the low at 63. Tomorrow mostly sunny with a high at 88. Friday partly sunny during the day, then a chance of rain showers Friday night, the high at 85. I'm James Spain on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 86 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
He brings, a different type of spark, he comes in, he doesn't have, the size that I have, but he's just as physical. He has speed, he's aggressive, and, it's no fall off. If you put him in the game, he'll come in the game, he'll run the ball hard, he'll catch the ball out of the backfield, and he'll do it fast and he'll do it physical. You have guys like, me and, Will Anderson and, Phil Darian and, all the guys that, just older guys on the team who's played a lot of football and, just who's, been on great teams and been on okay teams, the guys who've been here, over those years who understand, why we go through the things we go through and, what we need to do to, respond to it, So most of the guys, like the older guys on the team and the leaders on the team, stepped up, put this team on their back.
Some of the comments there from Brian Robinson in the Mississippi State Weekly Press Conference, and you could tell that the real concentration, I'm sure, from Coach Saban to the Leadership Council to the groups he meets with, and to the team itself, is really we need leaders in this moment. And I've always said this, and many have, is that Coach Saban plays and coaches best to me in these moments where there's been a tough loss, a hardship, and again, for the 6 national championships he's won. At Alabama, they've been one-loss teams. So that, shows that things can continue. Plus, they're only sitting right outside at number 5 right now. All they got to do is take care of business. And hopefully, I think this will, Antonio, ignite in them a sense of urgency. Maybe they didn't have, or, that they're going to be more attention to detail during practice and do the things they need to do in order to get prepared and to be at their best and not just rely on the talent and not just rely on the name Alabama, but instead put the work in, put the effort in, and know that you got the confidence going in because of the work you put into it.
Well, hopefully they will. Hopefully they will get it together. But look, they've been winning for so long. Complacency, they're young. Complacency will set in, and they've become complacent. They've so used to winning, and attention to detail hasn't been there this year like it should be. And then you saw it against Florida. Florida should have won that game, honestly. And then you lose to Texas A&M. So you had that first close call against Florida should have been a wake-up call. And all the stuff you're talking about now should have started right after the Florida game, not when you lose to Texas A&M. Now all of a sudden everything makes sense. Now everything made sense right after you barely got out of the swamp. and then you wait till you lose to Texas A&M. You saw it then. But hey, it is what it is. You got that blemish on your record now. The odd thing is, can you fight now? Can you fight back? Can you take everything that you didn't do? Can you take it now and apply it and finish the rest of the season now? Because if they win out, they're gonna run into that buzzsaw at SEC championship game.
They'll be there though.
Yeah.
They'll have it. They're still in control of their own destiny. My question to you: the players can get complacent, okay? Can coaches get complacent to the point where they can't inspire their own players?
No, what happens? Coaches can get frustrated because I can keep trying to tell you, look, you're not paying enough attention to detail. You're not doing this. Now, sometimes coaches can get to the point where they can get a little too far with it, and then they can start saying stuff to these kids that then kids start tuning them out. You got to be careful what you say to kids and how you say it. And sometimes coaches can start saying stuff to these kids. Maybe they might say something like, y'all are awful. You can't, terrible. You're practicing awful every day. You come out here and you practice awful. You just like you got it going on. All of you are sorry. None of you, you can say stuff to these kids, and they're still young men. And then it gets to them, and mentally it sticks to them, and then they shut down on you, meaning they tune you out. And once they start tuning you out, then coaches get frustrated. So now both sides are waging war against each other instead of working together.
I don't know how.
Perfect answer, by the way.
I don't know how they could be complacent because they haven't been there long enough. Most of the coaches to know that that they won. They're new. I mean, just like new players, new coaches, and so complacency. I don't know how that would set in. I agree with you, Antonio, as far as the other, because if your coaches, even if it's just one side of the football, is every day telling you we had a bad practice, we're not doing well, and this has been preached at you for weeks and throughout the beginning of the year, that begins to weigh on you. It begins to weigh on the psyche of the player. There's one thing about trying to get guys to do things the right way, but I think there's also at some point in time that gear's got to shift, and you've got to find a way to also encourage and do. This generation is just different. Is it not, Antonio? You coach them. I mean, if you're just always telling them that, I mean, they almost start believing it more than our generation went, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Right. Correct.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a different deal. So I don't know. I mean, maybe that's could be one of
these kids now. I ain't mean to cut you off. These kids now, the moment you say something wrong to them, they run home to parents. This is what Coach said to me. Coach said I haven't had awful practice all week long. I'm sorry. I'm no good. Or he's tired of coaching me because I keep making the same mistakes over and over. This generation is a little different. They run home. Now, our generation, if we ran home to go tell something like that, first thing our parents would say, well, do what he asked you to do. Then he won't have to say those.
Yeah.
He won't have to say those things to you. You can't do it now, because the moment you say that, it goes to the parents, and the parents go to the administration, and you got to deal with all these people about some little stuff that you said the kid just trying to encourage them to get better.
Lars, jump in.
He plays soccer D3. He don't know.
Lars, that last 5 minutes of conversation on the Jay Barker Show and on BamaInsider should be put in a capsule and played back once a week, because they nailed it. They're former players. We're writers, sportscaster. That to me was as well put as anything I've heard, and not just concerning Alabama, just concerning sports.
And Antonio has been saying this for a long time, especially when he was coaching and around kids day in and day out. But Antonio, why do you think there was so much confusion on the back end of Alabama's defense and in the secondary? It just seemed like there were so many mismatches and so many guys just running wide open that you had a quarterback who had been struggling so much, Calzado, in the previous 3 games, that he looked like Tom Brady back there. He looked like John. I mean, he played an incredible game and just eviscerated Alabama's secondary. Do you have an explanation as to what happened?
I mean, I'm not in the meeting room. I'm not on the field with those guys, but if you're watching it and you see guys moving around like ants and nobody seems to know where they're going, that's detail. That's stuff you should know going into the game. By Saturday, when you reach the game, you should have an idea of whatever all the formations that you're coming into sound like to me. what looks like to me there's a lack of film watching or not enough film watching, because believe it or not, whatever you see on film is more than likely what they're going to do. Not many offensive coordinators change their offensive scheme week in and week out. They have run the same plays. They just change the formation around. Instead of lining it up left, they may throw it right. But it's still a combination routes and it's still a combination runs off of it. So what I'm saying is there seems to be only one person in that defense in that back end that knows everything that's going on. And once he went out of the game, which is Malachi Moore, once he went out of the game, everybody was confused from that point. Sometimes guys get comfortable. I'm so used to him being on the field that he's making all the checks. So everybody's looking at Malachi when they need checks. Okay, Malachi's gone. I don't know who I look to now. I don't have a clue now. See, that's what I get for not paying. But here's the biggest thing that happens, Lars, and then I'm going to let you have it. Here's the problem. No, this is just my opinion. None of these kids are learning. Listen to me carefully, everybody listening. None of these kids are learning. They are memorizing what to do. And when things change or they forced to be in a different position, they forced to be in a different position and play a different role. They don't understand it because all they have done is memorize what they're supposed to do at their position. But now they move to I got to be moved from corner to star. I have no clue what to do when the star is out there because I haven't learned all these positions. I've only memorized my position, what I'm doing. I haven't learned it. I just memorized it. When things start happening, I don't know what to do because I've memorized what to do in certain situations on certain calls.
You can't just react.
Wow.
Yeah. And everything about offense and defense is based on concepts, right? I mean, there's concepts of what you do, how you line up, the things that you go against. And you're right. I think sometimes today that kids aren't caught. They're not to say that a Coach Saban team's not going to be taught the concepts of offense or defense. But do you remember the times we used to, Antonio, every Thursday night, we'd order pizza, we'd order wings, and they had barbershops. So they had the barbershop going over here. And then the office of defense would be in two different rooms, guys kind of going in and out. And for 2 hours, we sit and watch film together. And I made calls. Office and line made calls. Defense would look, they'd make their calls. And we had film that had been broken down for us to give us kind of the plays we thought they would run against us that week and ask the film guys to do that. These guys got so much more access to that kind of stuff. Now, I'm hoping that's going on. I'm hoping they're meeting and doing those things on their own because that bit brings about team chemistry and getting together. And really, it helps you communicate on the field the next day or so, as you're leading up to that game. All right, we need to take a quick break, and we'll come back. But real quick before we do, are you fully promoted? Do you struggle finding new ideas for branding and marketing your business? Is your organization trying to find unique items that people really like to receive and use? Well, if so, in today's competitive market, your brand and environment, your brand needs to stand out to get noticed. Fully Promoted offers extensive branding and marketing solutions to get your name in front of your potential customers. They've got local experts specializing in putting your apparel on team gear, caps, promotional products, trade show items, and printed materials. They provide access to samples you can actually feel and touch, and also people there that personalized service to assist you with product selection and decoration methods, taking your brand to the next level. Call Fully Promoted today at 205-406-6430. And to mention that you heard this ad on the Jay Barker Show for a special offer, that's 205-406-6430 for Fully Promoted. Are you fully promoted? All right, we'll continue live from AVX, hour number 2, here on this Wednesday edition. Antonio Langham, Lars Anderson, Matt Coulter. I'm Jay Barker. We'll be back.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
Hi, it's Jay Barker for AVX, Audio Video Excellence. They are the premier provider for custom audio-visual design and installation in the Southeast. AVX seeks excellence in everything it does, including a superior employee experience. AVX offers employees an industry-leading salary, insurance benefits, and 401k options. AVX technicians also receive the highest level of certification and continue training, making it one of the most awarded and decorated companies in the industry. Career opportunities are available now. now for technicians in Birmingham and Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Join the AVX team by contacting them at avxinc.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. If you're average and you're looking for a new pair of running or walking shoes, I suggest you go to an average shoe store where they'll sell you a pair of average shoes built for the average person with average size feet. But here's the thing, you're not average. No one is. We all exercise differently. We run differently. We walk differently, and our feet come in all sorts of widths and lengths. That's why at the New Balance Birmingham store, we employ fit specialists who will conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot's size and shape along with your gait, and then determine the best New Balance shoes custom fit to you. Because New Balance isn't your average shoe, and you're not average either. Experience the difference an unaverage custom fit makes today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham. Your feet will thank you.
Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Hi, it's Jay Barker for Siebel's in downtown Homewood, and now's the time to get your special place ready. Come in and let Siebel's design your porch with Kingsley Bait outdoor furniture and one of their custom swinging beds. For the great room, you're going to need their Carson swivel recliner. Siebel's is the #1 Carson recliner dealer in the country, and Sarah and I, we've got one, and we absolutely love it. Be sure also to check out their famous custom-made beds and bunk beds, built by Siebel's and made up with some of their best linens in town. Their staff can truly put your bed together like no other store. You can also follow Siebel's and shop on Instagram and Facebook. And be sure to call or go by their special store in downtown Homewood. The number is 800-448-1962. That's 800-448-1962. And just for listening, go to SiebelsCottage.com and order anything you want and type in Jay Barker for a special discount code. That's Jay Barker for a special discount code available only to our listeners for a limited time on The Jay Barker Show. Siebel's in downtown Homewood or online at SiebelsCottage.com.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit GoFan.co now. That's GoFan.co. Letter C, letter O.
You know, the rankings are all out of whack. Anybody that thinks there's like 30 teams better than Texas A&M's out of their mind. But and someday when I'm in your position, I'll go right down the list and tell you which ones. But I think that you had 2 good teams play, and the home team won. And it's John Wooden used to say, "Never be surprised when the home team wins." And then, but that's a heck of an atmosphere there. I love playing at Kyle Field, and I think that it's a heck of a place to play. 2 really good teams played, and Texas A&M won. So.
All right, as we continue to break it down for you, live from AVX, Jay Barker Show, Lars Anderson is on the road at Lincoln, Nebraska. We got Matt Coulter in studio, Antonio Langham in studio as well. I'm Jay Barker. We're going to remind you today in Northport, Nancy & Company Jewelers, located in Northport there in Tuscaloosa. Any jewelry you haven't worn in years, this is your opportunity to sell it. So you got jewelry you want to sell, go sell it today. And that's Nancy & Company Jewelers, located in Northport in Tuscaloosa. It's been going on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Today it's from 10 a.m. and you got till 5 p.m. today, so just a few more hours. And again, to sell the jewelry you haven't been using, Nancy and Company Jewelers located in Northport. You got anything, Matt, you want to?
I just want to tell y'all, I've been around this business a long, long time and hope to be around a little bit longer. But what y'all have been sharing, and particularly about the learning and memorizing, is just incredible stuff. And it seems simple. And actually, it is simple. But executing, Antonio, that's the deal. You've got to get, your coach has got to teach,
right?
Not preach, right? He's got to teach and not preach, and then they have to execute.
Correct.
And that's true from 80-pound to NFL. Go,
Can I ask Antonio really quick? Was the key play of the game to you, Antonio, when Malachi went out because of the penalty?
It would seem like it, but it shouldn't have been.
Who would have been the step-in guy?
Your safeties are supposed to be your signal callers back there.
We were just talking about an instance where he played. Antonio played safety against Vandy in '93, and we played them at Vandy. And the reason was because Coach felt like Brother Oliver felt like he could run the run lanes better. He could come up and fill those run lanes.
When they ran the option, they were running the option. He felt like I can run the lanes better as safety in those positions. But then that became my responsibility too, to make the checks. I mean, he said, "You're a safety now. It's your job to get everybody lined up."
Who was doing it before you?
I had
Connolly.
I had Sam and Sam.
Chris was back there at that time, 93.
90, yeah.
No, he was gone.
He was gone in
92.
Yeah, 92.
Okay.
93. I had Sam and Willie Gaston. Sam Shea and Willie Gaston back there.
Lars, we just stepped all over you. Did you want to complete your question there, or you just want to go back to that sandwich?
No.
I'm starving.
Look, I was just wondering, wanted to know what Antonio
back to your question,
and
Lars.
Jay. So Antonio and Jay, what was the key play? If you could distill it down to one play, what was the key play in the Texas A&M loss on Saturday night?
To me, it's the 2 turnovers. I mean, it's the, so I'm not narrowing down one, I'm narrowing down to 2. It's the fumble, the high handoff, and then it's the lazy route down on the goal line. I mean, the ball was perfectly thrown. He did not set it up where the defensive guy, you got to make a guy pause. You got to make him think you're going a different direction. But even if he rolled out, if he just kind of stutters his feet like 1 second and then continues on, the guy's behind him. He did nothing to do it. He just rolled into his break and also dropped some balls and other stuff. I mean, he just didn't have his head on straight that night. And look, we've all been there. We've all had those nights. So now you bounce back from it. You learn from it. You grow from it. But to me, it's always about those turnovers are huge momentum changers, and they're takeaways from where you could score points or at least get it to where they have to drive 80 yards or more. When you do that to an offense, it's hard for offense to score. That's just the statistics. So that's where it hurts you. And Alabama got hurt by both of those plays this weekend. They need to just clean those things up. When they played their clean game with its protection, with its not jumping off sides, with its doing all the things they normally do, that's why they win games. And that's why they've been so disciplined under Coach Saban.
Antonio, 2 plays.
I'm not going to even say plays. I'm just going to say our defensive front. We didn't get any pressure. I don't care who you are. You take Copeland and Curry away from me, and I'm average out there. I'm an average defensive back.
Immediately went, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am an average.
Here's why I know, because I went against them at practice. I had 1 second to get the ball off.
But it's the truth.
Yeah.
If you take John Copeland and Eric Curry, James Gregory, Jeremy Nunley, you take those guys away from me. Shannon Brown, you take those guys away from me. I'm average back there in my secondary. That defensive line dictates a lot for the secondary. It dictates a lot for the linebacker. And he had all day. He had too much time. I don't care who it is. You can go find a guy off the street. There used to be a quarterback. If you give him that kind of time, he'll pick you apart all day long.
And it seemed like we were getting more pressure with the 3-man front than we were when we were blitzing. It's almost like they were prepared for that blitz, and they were able to protect, their quarterback. And that's where we thought the disruption could happen, where we thought get the turnovers, the non-offensive type touchdowns. But you're right. And Antonio, quarterbacks, running backs, and receivers are only as good as their offensive line. If you don't have protection to throw, don't have lanes to run in, it all starts in the trenches. I mean, in the game of football, from 5-year-old Pee Wee all the way through high school, all the way through pro, in college. If you don't win the trenches, you can't win in this game. And that's where we got beat in the trenches this past weekend.
Lars, isn't that maybe what Alabama fans are struggling over the most, is the fact that in a very unusual situation, Alabama got beat up front, both sides of the football, and we all know they've got better talent.
It's so rare. You don't see that often where the Alabama defensive front doesn't get pressure on the quarterback. But, the broadcasters on Saturday night kind of went on and on about how Jimbo was essentially out coaching Saban. Do you guys buy that narrative? Was it Jimbo that sort of won this game, this battle of wits between the two coaches?
Antonio?
You want to attack that after the break?
Yeah, let's do that. We'll do it over the break. Good.
That's a great question.
Yeah, great question. Hey, you want to remind you also, DTPM, one of our great sponsors. We don't talk about them a whole lot, but man, they've been there for us since day one. Trusted since 1993. DTPM is your total solution provider that provides a comprehensive array of diagnostic lab testing equipment, supplies, and services. Visit their website at dtpm.com to learn more. With DTPM, they're the leading provider of turnkey laboratory solutions and currently servicing customers in 47 states across the nation and growing. They remain national scope, local in service. If you're looking for laboratory service, in other words, setting up your own lab, if you're a doctor in any field and you're doing lab work, you're sending it off, you shouldn't be doing that anymore. Number one, it's better outcomes for your patients and it's better outcomes for your practice. If you have DTPM come in and set up your own lab in your own doctor's office, quick turnarounds, more provided information for the patients, and the best as far as equipment when it comes to lab services. Go to dtpm.com to find out more information. That's dtpm.com for more information on this great company located in Fort Payne, Alabama. Believe it or not, 1993. They've been around and servicing so many doctor's offices, laboratories, urgent cares, and physician offices, recovery courts, reference laboratories, as well as I said. All right, we'll be back. We'll finish up hour number 2. Stay with us.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
The flagship station for Alabama Crimson Tide sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
The moment you fire up a Gator UTV, the engine has your full attention. The completed job is on the horizon, and the trail meets its match. Just like that, you made short work of a long to-do list. Run with us on a John Deere Gator UTV. With effortless four-wheel drive at the flip of the switch and our smoothest shifting transmission yet. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere Gator for more.
In a collision, easy decision. One name, one firm, one call. Mesrano.
I made that one call to Mesrano after being hit by an 18-wheeler. He got me $875,000.
I made that one call to Mesrano after being T-boned on McFarland. He got me $125,000.
I made that one call to Mesrano after my fender bender. He got me $50,000.
One name, one call, one firm. Mesrano.
No representation made that quality of legal services to be performed is greater than quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Has the pandemic affected your business? Even with more and more customers going online in the past 5 years, online business has grown greatly due to the pandemic. Now more than ever, it's important to have a strong online presence so that customers can find your business and products easily. That's where Townsquare comes in to help. Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free competitive analysis to see how your business stands up to the competition. And if you're one of the first to sign up, you'll get $500 in free advertising on this radio station. That's mylocalcustomers.com. Townsquare not only can help you find more local customers online, they'll also help you grow your business to a new level. With premium website services that get you new leads every day and no contracts to sign, there's no better time to join. Not only that, Townsquare also has a dedicated marketing specialist who will be with you every step of the way, making changes that will benefit you and especially your business. It's fast, easy, and you can cancel your subscription at any time. So hurry to mylocalcustomers.com and get your $500 in free advertising today.
Tuscaloosa Tire and Service, they've got the big brands you know and trust. Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, Cooper, and they can finance for you as well. When you need routine maintenance and alignment, a tune-up, whatever it is, belts, hoses, just basic stuff, or when you don't know what's wrong with your car, truck, or SUV, make it Tuscaloosa Tire and Service. They're dependable, they're trustworthy. That's why they've lasted for over 36 years. Skyland Boulevard, McFarland Boulevard East in Northport on Lurleen Wallace Boulevard, check out the website TuscaloosaTireandService.com.
The $10 Tastemaker from Pizza Hut. Personalize yours with your favorite sauce, crust, and up to 3 toppings and make the pizza you've always dreamed of. It's so beautiful. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Ask for offer. Not available in some locations. Exclusions apply. Extra charge per pan. Not available on stuffed crust.
It takes 2 vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
Whether you just found it or lived there for years, you'll never forget that feeling. It was something that made you realize this house would become your home. And since there's no place like it, it deserves protection just as special. So talk to a real person, not a website. Call your Allstate agent, Andrew Kniffer, today at 205-722-9201 or find us on Facebook, Andrew Kniffer Agency. Once again, you can reach us at 205-722-9201. Allstate, are you in good hands?
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A very warm afternoon, partly to mostly sunny, the high 87. Tonight fair with the low at 63. Tomorrow mostly sunny with a high at 88. Friday partly sunny during the day, then a chance of rain showers Friday night, the high at 85. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 86 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Coach, 24-10 at the half. Couple of turnovers really hurt.
Well, turnovers, I think we got sacked 3 times in the first half. Really didn't play very well at all on defense. Gave up a lot of easy plays where we just didn't do the right things. So, but, it's a test. You get behind in a place like this. This was an unbelievable environment that they had, that we had to play in tonight. I told our players, the field's going to be 53 yards wide and 100 yards deep. And every time you think the noise is a problem, that's a cue to you to focus on what you got to do in front of you. Because that don't mean anything to how you block the guy or how you tackle the guy or how you cover the guy. So I think we were prepared for that. I think we handled it better in this game. But we just didn't make plays when we need to make them at times. So, but I told the players at halftime, this is a test. We're behind 24-10. We haven't been behind before. All right, so what are you going to do about it? You check your whole card. All right, how are you going to compete? Competitive greatness is defined by you can be your best when your best is needed. So that's what we needed to do. And we played a lot better in the second half, but not quite good enough.
As we finish up hour number 2, Antonio Langham in studio, Lars on the road, and we get also Matt Coulter in studio. I'm Jay Barker. We appreciate you listening in live from AVX, Audio Video Excellence. And Matt, let's set the question again, or Lars. Actually, Lars, I think, asked the question. So, Lars, go ahead and reset the question, and we'll address it.
Just want to say, first off, today would have been my dad's 85th birthday. I want to say happy birthday to my father.
Oh, wow.
He's been gone way too long, buried in Arlington, and I know Antonio, Jay, and Matt, all of you guys lost your dads way too young as well, especially you, Antonio. You guys know what it means. The question was on the broadcast on Saturday night, the announcers made a lot of how Jimbo Fisher was just coaching a brilliant game, and Mike Elko as well, the defensive coordinator. Do you think that Jimbo Fisher outcoached Nick Saban? And I'll start with you, Jay.
I don't know. It's so much out coaching, and I'll say that Antonio and I kind of discussed this during the break, so we'll probably have a lot of the same thoughts. More scheming as far as what they did. Alabama not able to do probably what they thought they could on script, and instead of going from that script to the next and doing some things off of what they'd already doing earlier, they were just trying to figure it out. I do think Alabama did a terrific job going in at halftime, making adjustments offensively. They were able to protect. They figured that out. They did a couple other things that were able to spring guys loose, and when they got blitzed, able to get the touchdown pass. Beautiful throw by Bryce. And on defense, allowed 10 yards in the third quarter. I mean, and really often, we had the big play. They had the big play on special teams. That was a wash. So no, I don't think he outcoached him, or I don't think that he anything as far as that. I think the players, again, as Antonio said, to go back to that point, is that you get a play call. It's your job to execute it at a high level. And the execution was not at a high level on Saturday night, and that's where they've got to get better. Antonio,
we didn't get out coach. We got outworked. They outworked us, and they won the matchups. Yeah. They out physicals. They won the matchups. It's simple, right here, real quick, and I'm gonna let Matt have it. They had a little bit more dog in them than we did Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go back to something you said first hour, and they out-executed Alabama. Right. And if you relate that to how they were coached and how they were prepared and how they were, given that bolt emotionally, then, yeah, he got out-coached. But I don't think as far as the X's and the O's go that Fisher did all that much different, or he did all that. He out-coached him in that regard. Maybe he had his – well, I don't think it's maybe. They were better prepared.
Could have been. And we brought up the two games against, Mississippi State and Arkansas. Did they hide them? So preparation can be, we're preparing, but we're also not going to show as much offensively or defensively. Were there things they didn't show on purpose in order to keep them? Because this is a huge game for Jimbo, and right. look, he deserves the win, and he got his team ready. His quarterback played out of his mind, and it's a great. To me, I would much rather lose now at this time than I would lose late in the year, and especially where Alabama's positioned right now at number 5. Their destiny is in their hands.
No
now,
question.
If they want to get it, they got to go get it.
They got to beat Georgia.
Yeah,
man, that is an awful tall drink of water right now. Hey, Lars,
go have a Reuben.
Bring us some Reubens and some of those other muffy things you talk about.
Absolutely, Reuben and runs is on me next week.
Okay,
all right.
Lars, you the man, Lars.
Thanks, Lars.
Yeah, that's the only way to get you in the studio, Antonio.
Hey, you missed some of the free stuff too.
You did.
Oh no,
Antonio, thank you. Thank you guys for watching on BamaInsider.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe there, and you can watch us each and every day live from noon to 2. You can also go back to replays and some of the highlights we'll throw up for you on the YouTube channel for BamaInsider.com and all throughout our network, throughout Alabama and on the Gulf Coast as well. Josh Smith, thank you for your production on everything, and everybody have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow for the Thursday edition Jay Barker Show live from AVX.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Achieving your personal best often comes down to how you feel. And when it comes to the right shoes, nothing feels better than New Balance. The fit specialists at the New Balance Birmingham store conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot size, shape, and gait, determining the best New Balance shoes for you. Experience the difference of custom fit today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
I'm excited to tell you about our newest sponsor here on the Jay Barker Radio Network. They pioneered the chicken finger box and the chicken finger restaurant. That's Guthrie's. Guthrie's recipes and process are often imitated, but never duplicated. Look, their sauce is probably the most copied sauce of all sauces all time. And I've known this family since my days down in Tuscaloosa, and they came over, and man, I tell you, it's nostalgic even today to see my kids going to that same Guthrie's. And great family, do so much for the community, but more importantly, provide the best when it comes to chicken fingers. Get out to Guthrie's today. I want to tell you about my good friends at Southern Assurance Group. Hi, it's Jay Barker, and look, Ken Needham has done a terrific job. Local company, 205-980-1505 is their number. That's 980-1505. Again, local, you can speak with the same team every time you give them a call. Full line of products from auto, home, boat, life. You'll trust them. They have a great deal as far as the relationships they build with their customers, and 20 years with the same company and industry. Custom approach for your insurance needs. Give them a call, 980-1505. That is Southern Assurance Group. Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269.
When you go to turn on the lights, you expect them to work. Our team at Alabama Power does too. But sometimes, extreme weather and events test our system. Knowing we're out there making repairs helps, but answers are what you deserve. So, we're rolling out new tools to keep you informed, especially during storms. Visit Alabama Power's new outage map to see outages in your area and get updates on repair times. And sign up to get personalized outage alerts on your phone or computer for free. Learn more at alabamapower.com/alerts.
Rock and Roll Sushi, they're proud to be the original American-style sushi restaurant founded on great food and rock and roll music, boasting concepts and flavors big, bold, and loud. They're the only place to experience the rock you love, the rolls you love, with the ones you love. It all began back in Mobile, Alabama, and then a decade later, tucked inside the Mobile Mall, expanded to encompass more than 40 locations across the southeastern U.S. Since day one, the most rewarded part of their work has been seeing guests fall in love with the amplified dining experience and become fans who return again and again to the biggest hit in town. That's Rock and Roll Sushi. Get out today for lunch or dinner.
Following this summer's Tokyo Olympic Games, the eyes of the world will turn to Birmingham, Alabama, and the World Games 2022. Next July, the world will come together for the South's largest international sporting event since the 96 Centennial Olympic Games. 3,600 athletes will compete for gold in 34 sports, including lacrosse, softball, gymnastics, flag football, and more. Tickets are on sale now. Buy yours at twgtv.com.